Good evening, everybody. Welcome on in to another installment of Medical Talk in Layman's Terms with Nurse Charlene. And tonight I'm going to be talking about some getting back to the basics. And that's basically just saying that I'm going to be talking about things that was my bread and butter for even coming on and stuff, and just explaining different things. Now, I did say in layman's talk, and in layman's terms, rather, but anyway, in layman terms, that it just means keeping things as simple as possible, that so that somebody that knows nothing about medical or whatever it could be, and stuff like that, can understand or come out with some type of understanding. And tonight's topic is going to be, I did it kind of interchangeable, hypertension and heart disease, or heart disease and hypertension. And I always start off with giving you some definitions and stuff like that. But because hypertension is just a precursor to heart disease itself, it's better to explain it like that. So last week I did diabetes in my Back to the Basics series, where I'm just trying to get back to that bread and butter, the things that you guys know about and everything. And then I'm going to start branching out. Also, I do ask a lot of times, if you have something you want me to speak on and everything, to, kind of send me a little private message and everything, and then I'll research it and I'll get it out there. Well, I had a viewer's choice, and I have did the research. So, Auntie Josie, your subject, I'm not going to say the name yet and stuff, but I will be announcing that for next Tuesday. I'm going to come on and talk about that. Another viewer's choice that I did prior to this was called menopause and andropause, which is menopause is for women. That's the hot flashes. That's what you know it by and stuff. And andropause is male menopause. There is a such thing. Yes, it is. And everything. So I researched it before putting that information out. So that's what I'm trying to do. Just get you guys in on what's happening, and what's going on with the different viewpoints and everything, and get you to knowing about your medical, so that just listening to a couple of these things will help you be able to spot a stroke or spot a heart attack like tonight, and stuff, or spot different things. And my company is Your Body's a Snitch, Believe It. That wasn't just a catchy thing so I could have some ghetto to say and everything. It's literally saying your body is a snitch. It tells on you, and it tells on you in forms of symptoms. Symptoms are things that happen to your body, like a headache is a symptom. A backache is a symptom. Ringing in the ears is a symptom, but it's also, that's what a snitch is. That's your body telling you something is wrong, and stuff. Tell on it. It's telling on you. So now you gotta do it right and tell on it, or y'all not gonna make it. You or your snitch is not gonna make it. Me or my snitch, if I don't tell on it, I'm not gonna make it, and everything. So that's where this is all coming in at. So as you guys come on in and stuff, I see, welcome on in, Miss Rosetta Granny Allen. That's my mommy. She's on there watching and stuff, and she's right on time, ready to go and everything, trained to go, like she would tell me. And oh, Miss Auntie Josie and stuff is coming on and stuff. Welcome on in and everything. Yes, y'all come on in, my folks, and everything. Everybody is welcome, and everybody can chime in at any time. And if there's a question and I can't quite give you the right answer, correct answer and everything, don't fret, don't fret and stuff. We will definitely, after the live is over and stuff, I may be able to answer that question for you, or I'll make sure I put something under the comment. So you go back and watch the replay and do the comments. Auntie Josie said, hello, everyone. Hello, Auntie Josie. Everybody say hello. Yes. And stuff. Thanks for joining, my dear, and everything. So before I get all the way into it, I just wanted to give you a brief little synopsis of what's going on and stuff, or that is kind of medically to say synopsis, but a brief little lingo on what I'm talking about and everything. As you can see, I like to illustrate on my board behind me. That's why I never got rid of the whiteboard and forego the green screen where everything is blurred out, because I actually go on there and I write things and stuff and put stuff down for you so that you can understand where I'm coming from with all of this stuff. So I got a scale of blood pressures and the different stages of blood pressure from normal to we got a problem. And then we also have some old school blood pressure cuffs and stuff. I tried my best to make it whatever, and stuff like that. And then also I have over here a normal artery and a bad artery, which we're going to talk about in the podcast. And then I have up here a heart, and what a heart really looks like. It's not this. Your heart is not sitting in your chest looking like that. I know that's cute, the heart and stuff. Yeah, it's not that. It's a little funny oval shape with a little, it just looks different. Everything. But I'll explain it. And stuff. Rosie Granny said, praise the Lord. Rosetta is watching. Praise the Lord. Amen. Love you, mommy. Love you, Josie. All right, and stuff. So definitely before I get started teaching, and that's what I'm doing, teaching and explaining some stuff, it will be only right that I do my podcast disclaimer. And it goes as so. The podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended to replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Okay. Always consult with your physician for any medical concerns. If you have questions about a medical condition, reach out to a qualified healthcare professional. And that's questions and stuff. You want somebody that's in the medical field, because you wouldn't ask your mechanic how did the heart work, or something like that. You need to reach out to a medical professional. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking it because of something you heard on a podcast. Okay. Guest views are their own and may not reflect the views of the host, that's me, or this podcast. The information shared is for general knowledge, just to get you there so that you can get your doctor to actually make the money that he's supposed to make during your visit. Okay, and then we got it should not be used for any legal or medical purposes, meaning I can't help you with your lawsuit, but I always say I'm not a hater, so I hope you win if you're doing it on good terms. All right, and always consult with a licensed professional who knows your medical history for a meaningful evaluation. And guys, please stay informed, but always seek professional advice when it comes to your health. Professional advice. And I will get you halfway there by letting you know that I am a professional. I am a licensed nurse and have been for the past 21 years and everything. So it's not more than a whole bunch of people, and it's not less than a whole bunch of people, but it's right on time to let you know that you are speaking with an actual medical professional with a license in California and stuff. So just getting that out there. All right. Miss Josie said, love you too. Thank you, Auntie. And stuff. So I wouldn't do good without giving you some definitions. And I think I want to start. I'm gonna go a little backwards because my notes are a little bit weird and stuff. I try to do good, but sometimes they get a little hectic. So I'm going to start with hypertension. That is called high blood pressure. Hypertension, that's all that means is high blood pressure. And because I'm talking about high blood pressure and heart disease, because blood pressure on your heart, and stuff. So it's the heart we're talking about tonight. And it's like I said, it's not this. Yeah, that's cute, but that's not what your heart looks like and everything. But high blood pressure. So this is the definition. It is a condition in which the force of blood flow through the arteries is consistently too high, and it leads to other problems. I don't want to say the other problems because I'm about to give that definition also. So also another definition, just in case, is a ongoing condition where the force of blood against the artery walls is consistently too high, always too high. It's an ongoing force of blood against your arteries. Your arteries feed your heart blood, and then your blood pumps it and does all the good stuff for it. And it's constantly too high, leading to what they call hypertension or high blood pressure. Welcome in, Miss Sandra. Good evening. She said, good evening, Nurse Charlene and Rosie. Sorry I'm late. No, you're not late and everything, but she said, sorry I'm late, Charlene. Her need your input. Okay, let me see. Need your input after the podcast tonight. Absolutely. So that's what I do. And that's the reason why I come on and stuff, because I'm giving you some good stuff. But people that are very close to me and everything and stuff, I have to give them advice also. But they need to know that I'm, a medical professional. And that's why they seek it from me. I don't know why this thing keeps going off. Okay. Sorry about that. That's how I read some of the results and everything that's coming on and everything. But anyway, going back to this, yes, welcome on in, Miss Sandra, and I got you after the podcast. All right, and everything. So like I said, with hypertension or high blood pressure, I gave you the two definitions. Now I'm going to give you the reason behind my blood pressure is so and so over such and such, and all of that and everything. When they say that, they're saying the top number is called systolic or systole, and stuff, systolic blood pressure. The bottom number is called diastolic or dystole, or whatever and stuff. You don't know it by that and stuff. That's a medical term and everything, but it's the top and bottom number. So I'm not going to go into how deep that goes because it's a lot of stuff that I'll get you lost, and I'll probably get lost because it's some stuff. The heart is amazing, but also complicated, very complicated. So it ain't just about your blood pressure, and stuff like that. It's about a whole series of things. But I'll tell you one thing: the heart is the engine of the body. The computer system of the body is your brain and your gut. They're simultaneous. Your brain is connected to your gut and your GI system, gastrointestinal and gastrourinary system. But your heart is the engine of the body. If the engine breaks down, you might not survive it, and everything. So that's how important it's 911 emergency, your heart. So when I'm talking about this, make no mistake, it's a big deal. But before I get on to the definition of heart disease, I want to just break down the blood pressure chart that you would see. Charlene, what is a normal blood pressure? Oh, I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to give you that now. You got a top number that's systolic. You got a bottom number that's diastolic. And diastolic, I'm sorry, not dystolic, diastolic. And the difference between those are the contraction of your heart. Boom, boom. That's a heartbeat. Boom, boom. So systolic plays a role in that heartbeat, and diastolic plays a role in the heartbeat. Systolic is your top number, and it should be, it can be two numbers, but usually it's three. And it can be normal at two numbers also, just a high two numbers, the highest two numbers you can get. And the bottom number, it should always be two numbers, but it can get up to three. And we'll talk about that in a second. So we asked, what is normal? Well, normal blood pressure is anything on the top number being below 120, 120, and the bottom number being below 80. So being below 120 would be 119, 118, 117, 116. So let's say my blood pressure is 116 over 70. Was below the bottom number is below 80 at 70, and the top number is below 120 at 116. So 116 over 70 is a absolutely normal blood pressure. So anything below 120 and below, and for the top number, and below 80 for the bottom number would be considered normal blood pressure. No problems at all. Now, we have tend to stretch that a little bit and stuff, and give or take, what your doctor might say and everything, but it's definitely a few more numbers, even if it's at 120 or a little bit above and stuff. It's not terrible. It's just pay attention to it. That's all. Always know your numbers. Okay. So then you got elevated. When it starts, your body starts snitching, the first symptom will be an elevated. It's consistently at 120 or above. So 120 to 129, and below, the bottom number will be below 80 still. That means just hello, watch it and everything. It's not even quite borderline, but it's there. It's hanging out and stuff. So then you got hypertension 1. Now you're a little bit above borderline, but still can reverse this thing, and stuff. You can still work on it and everything. And that will be hypertension 1, which I put them in colors, but just in case you can't see them and stuff, I'm reading them, what's on the board to you. And that will be hypertension 1 or high blood pressure 1. And that will be top number being anywhere from 130 to 139, bottom number being anywhere from 80 to 89 and stuff. So see where we're going with this. It's getting hectic and stuff. So then high blood pressure number 2, that means it's amping up, because it went from normal to elevated to high blood pressure 1. Now we're at high blood pressure 2. The top numbers, systolic, would be 140 or higher. And the bottom number, diastolic, would be 90 or higher. We got a problem. Yeah, it's getting there. Now you into it. They're going to be giving you some medicine. They usually give you a high blood pressure 1. And then sometimes you could get off of it or some, with some things I'll talk about later and stuff. But yes, pay attention. Now you got to pay attention and stuff. So now we're going to go to high blood pressure 3 or hypertension 3 or whatever you want to call it, is number 3. And that is above 180. Houston, we have a problem. That top number is above 180. There's a problem. There's no getting around it. There's no, I'm going to just have me some beets and I'm going to eat some lettuce and tomatoes. And yeah, you got a problem. And you better get to the doctor quick, because guess what? After 180, let's say, hello, I see a stroke on the horizon. I see a heart attack on the horizon. I see you just dropping, and everything. That's 180. So they're being really lucrative with these numbers, but 180, if you get a 180 and you ain't just had a car accident, somebody scared the mess out of you, somebody just shot at you, or you just got robbed or something like that, your blood pressure better not be just sitting there at a resting and your blood pressure is sitting up that high. There's a problem. So I'm telling you, it's no more pray attention. It's doctor, help me. Pray that the doctors know what they're doing, and stuff. Yeah, it's no joke and everything and stuff. Welcome on in, Pastor Carol. She said, right, you're in the danger zone when you get to high blood pressure 3. That is correct, Pastor Carol. And welcome on in, my dad, Raymond Buckner and stuff. Good evening, he said. Good evening, daughter. All right. That's my dude. That's my main dude. And stuff. So yes, I'm talking about you guys tonight, high blood pressure or hypertension, but I'm just saying high blood pressure, that's what it is. And then also heart disease. So I'm going to be covering some other good stuff, and it's coming up right now and everything. So going back to what Pastor Carol said, yes, shortness of breath and chest. Ooh, yes, I'm gonna put that on there. That's called snitching. Your body is snitching. You get in shortness of breath and some chest pain. Yeah, you know that the Houston, we have a problem. Something then went down, and it wasn't your blood pressure. Yes. I know. I try to keep it lighthearted and everything, but I'm definitely in the right area. Look at Pastor Carol. She on this and stuff. That dizziness, your body's a snitch. Shortness of breath, your body's a snitch. Chest pain, your body is a snitch. It don't usually happen. You sitting around at the beach and you got your feet in the sand and you looking at the water. It's soothing and everything and stuff. You don't have no chest pain then, right? So if you get chest pain, don't you know that's your body trying to tell you something? Okay. All right. So now let me go to the definition of heart disease and everything, you guys, and stuff. Now we get into the good part. Thank you guys for coming on in. Feel free to chime in. If I'm talking, of course, I'm going to finish the thought and stuff, or try to, and then I'll go right into your comments and stuff. If I missed a comment by any chance, just because I just didn't see it or something like that, no worry. I answer all of them when the live is over, and I answer some of them. I'll go back and answer them while the live is on. So I got you and everything, and I'm paying attention because you pump me up. You hype me up, by just coming on and seeing what I'm talking about. I prepare for it. So we got heart disease or cardiovascular disease. What is cardiovascular? I don't know. That's like doing exercise. Yeah, it is kind of exercises, but cardio means your heart. Vascular means your blood vessels, and stuff, arteries and veins and stuff like that. So cardiovascular, your heart vessels, and everything, and the disease thereof. So that's why I'm talking about that tonight. All right. So we're getting there, right? We're getting there. You almost a doctor. Okay, you're not, but you almost maybe a little baby nurse or something like that. But we're going to get there and stuff. And that's where heart disease is a group of disorders affecting the heart and blood vessels. I just said that. Okay. And these include coronary artery disease, heart failure, arrhythmias, and valvular disease. Of course, I'm going to explain all of that. I'm just saying it's a group of things that go wrong with the heart and everything. And that's what we call heart diseases, because it's diseases of the heart or problems of the heart. So the first one I said was coronary artery disease. Coronary is referring to the heart. Artery is referring to your heart, your arteries that feed the heart. And disease is a problem. That's all we need to say. And then coronary artery disease is the blood vessels that feed the heart. They're clogged up or get narrowed, making it harder for blood to get through. Where's that at on your board, Charlene? Right there. That's a normal one. So the white means a nice juicy artery where all the blood is flowing through it. Ain't got no obstructions and stuff. Look at it. It's just white. So it just got the blood going through there. It's nice and clean. It's smooth like a water hose and stuff. It's getting in there, right? That's a normal one right there. Yes. Houston, we got a problem. This one got all types of stuff. Did I ask for a party to be in there? Well, that's what coronary artery disease is. It's a little tiny, you can't even see it because the opening is so small. It's supposed to be white right in the middle, but you can't even hardly see it because guess what that is? Cholesterol and diabetes and all of that floating around in there. So it narrows the heart. They get together and they got a little dance going. And that's where you get some little blood clots. Once it clot all the way, and stuff, it stops the blood from going somewhere. And then when it break or lose, maybe because of medicine or something like that, it send a clot up and then the clot gets stuck somewhere else and cause you a whole stroke. Yeah, that's what that one do and stuff. So this one we don't want. This one we pray that we get something like it. But over time, it does get like this. But that little dark part in the middle, the circle, the white circle is bigger before it just go bad on you. But it's gonna snitch first. So you see where I'm talking about coronary artery disease, and that's where that is. So that's the artery, not the whole artery this way, but when you look inside of it and stuff, and you're supposed to have a hole so the blood can flow through. And if it's not flowing through or it gets all murkied up with all this junk and dirt and stuff and grease and hot mess and high cholesterol and all of that, it gets nice and little. And then guess what? Your body got to work harder to push that blood through. And that's where dizziness, shortness of breath, chest pain, and all of that good stuff come in. Because it's like, you need a roto-rooter. You got to get that cleaned out and stuff. How you get it cleaned out? Medicines, better eating, better lifestyle and stuff like that. But in the meantime, it's going to tell you. It tries to be nice. Your body trying to be nice to you. It's like, hey, did you see your hair falling out? Did you see you dizzy now? Did you see, and stuff? And if you're not paying attention, that ain't nothing. I'm tougher than that. Yeah, you tougher until you drop. Yeah, you can drop. I can drop. You can drop. Yeah, and stuff. So Pastor Carol said you also will have swelling and retaining water. Yeah, I'm getting to that right now. Yes. Welcome on in, Miss Whitney. That's my niece. Thank you. She said, great information tonight. Looking good, Miss Allen. All right. Yes, thank you. Welcome on in, my dear. So the next one I just talked about, coronary artery disease. That's the first of the different diseases that you can get from high blood pressure that lead to it and everything. And that would be the coronary artery. It clogs up the vessels. So I was talking about these are vessels, and this is a good artery, and it got flow. It's unobstructed. It don't have nothing in its way. It can just flow and do what it do. This one, it got to bob and weave and scoot to the side and everything and stuff to get in there, and stuff and do what this one is already doing naturally. And this one comes from age. It also comes from our diet. You only can have so many French fries and fried chicken and fried fish and okay. And stuff. Not trying to be mean and say I hate fish, I hate chicken, and stuff. But yeah, anything we do in excess, we're gonna pay for. Anything we do in moderation and take our time, push the plate away from time to time, get a little exercise in, guess what? We're gonna win every time. But when we don't do it, and I said we, because I'm at me and I'm the nurse, the only difference between me and you, besides a few degrees and everything, and some time, is that I tell on it faster because I got to snitch. Yes. Welcome on in, Michelle. Thank you for coming on. Good to see you on and stuff. Come on in here and stuff and learn something about some blood pressure and heart disease and everything. And even if it's not a one size fits all, because if it doesn't fit you, it's okay. It might fit somebody, a loved one, somebody you care about and everything and stuff. So definitely come on in and stuff. The water is fine. I heard somebody say once before and stuff. So we're on heart failure, or a lot of people know it as congestive heart failure. That's really a thing and stuff. And it's called the heart muscle is too weak or too stiff, so it can't pump blood well enough through the body. Do you know your body needs to pump each one of those boom, boom, boom? When your heart is beating, you want your heart to go boom, 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 and stuff like that. If your heart saying boom, I get boom, yeah, oh, boom, and stuff like that. You don't want your disgruntled heart. Well, that it's disgruntled at this point, and stuff. So guess what? That boom ain't gonna be kaboom, 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 kaboom. It's gonna be boom. Oh, you want me to boom? Yeah, I don't feel like it because it's too weak. I don't feel like it. Yeah. I'm supposed to be. Yeah. That Houston, we have a problem. You better tell on it. My heart going boom. I feel an attitude and stuff. I'm telling. You better tell. They got medicine for it, to help it get some energy back, so it can beat like boom, 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 boom. You want music. You want to make music. You want a rhythm. If your heart is not in a rhythmic tone, it's not kaboom, 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 and stuff. Because I'm gonna talk about other boom booms and stuff. But if it ain't doing that good boom and stuff, we got a problem. Let's tell on it. We only get one. If it stop on us, guess what? We stop existing. Yeah. Everybody heart. It don't matter if you're a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, whatever, a rich person, a poor person, everybody heart can get it. Everybody heart can stop. It don't matter how much money you got or how much money you don't have. Your heart can stop and stuff. So let's start telling on it, because it's trying to tell on you and send out signals. If you don't want to listen, hey, you're gonna find out. All right. So then let's go to arrhythmia. So arrhythmia, that sounds like the Eurythmics or something like that and stuff. But arrhythmia, rhythm. Remember I said you want that heart to go kaboom, 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 and stuff. And beat, I'm beating, I'm working, I'm twerking, whatever it's doing, and stuff. You want it to do that. But guess what? Arrhythmia, meaning away from a good rhythm. So that means it's the opposite of a nice rhythm. Boom, 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 boom. You see what I'm saying? Arrhythmia is boom, 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 boom. You see what I'm saying? It ain't no rhythm. That ain't no song. Now, kaboom, kaboom could be anything. You can put that with every beat. But that other jacked up beat and stuff, that's the arrhythmia. That's the one that we don't want. That one. That's when the heart beats too fast or too slow or irregularly. Oh, it's beating out of my chest. It feel like it's racing out of my chest. I thought I was gonna die. Or it's beating so slow, it feel like it's gonna stop or something. Oh my goodness, and stuff. And you scared, and stuff like this is a problem, and stuff like that. Or it don't know whether boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you don't. I don't want that one. You might, maybe you could get down with that rhythm. I don't want it. I don't want it and stuff. It's very uncomfortable. It's very scary. And guess what? That blood pressure be through the roof, because you don't know what your heart doing in there, but it ain't doing you. It's not doing you and stuff. So while I'm saying that and stuff, be it as it may, this is serious than a heart attack for real and stuff. But at the same time, just if you look at it that way, it don't seem that bad, and it seemed more easier to tell on. It's betraying you when it's in arrhythmia, away from normal. It's betraying you when your coronary arteries are all gunked up with a whole bunch of junk in there, and stuff like that. It's betraying you. Your heart is gonna give out on you. It's gonna do something wrong. So in order for us to staying alive, and stuff, we gotta find out what can we do to fix it. Stop thinking, oh, I'm gonna die. They told me I got high blood pressure. I don't know when. Am I gonna die next Thursday? No, you get it fixed. There's a fix for it. God said, make doctors and nurses and all of that and stuff. There's a fix. So don't give up on yourself before you even get to the chance. Your heart ain't giving up. It's still gonna try to beat. It just got an attitude now, and stuff like that. So the moral of the story is tell on it. It's telling on you. It's giving you little signs. It's dropping breadcrumbs, and everything. So Pastor Carol said, why is that? And Auntie Josie said, the heart is working hard. Yes. And stuff, sometimes too hard or not hard enough. Like I said, when it's congestive heart failure, it's heart failure, meaning it's failing to beat the way it's supposed to. So therefore, failure is a problem. You're not winning, you're failing. You're not passing, you're failing. Passing is your heart beating correctly. Failure is it's not doing its job efficiently enough to keep you alive and everything. There's a problem. Can you catch it and try to get to the other side? Yes, that's what many people have done for years. But don't let it just sit up there and do it all these years, and then you get down to where you done passed out somewhere, and then they got to find out because you wouldn't even tell nobody or something like that. You got to tell on it. You got to. Okay. So then there's a valvular disease. So your valves in your heart, which is the heart is up there. I drew it because it's not this and stuff. A heart is more shaped like this, weird shape and everything. So you have doors or valves, which are the doors of the heart. They're called valves and stuff. They get to acting up. They're supposed to, like a door, they open and shut. You want your front door to open and shut, right? And stuff. So these valves inside your heart, your engine of your body, you want them to open and shut. Sometimes they get certain diseases or certain things, wrong with them and stuff like that, and they don't shut all the way, or they get stuck, or whatever's happening with them, and so they malfunction. They're given out sometime, or different things for different reasons, different diseases and everything. But when they don't open up all the way, or they don't close properly, and causing it to leak back into another place that the door was shut to and should have stayed solidly shut and stuff, that's a problem. And that's why they said it's a valvular disease or the heart's door disease. The door is the valve, and it's supposed to open and shut. And sometimes they don't work, correctly, and that's a problem. You got to tell on it, because you can also feel that. So everything that I'm telling you is something that you will feel sometime during your life, or something like that and everything. But your job is to tell on it so that you and those doors, those valves and everything else and stuff can stay alive and everything. So that's where that comes in. Also, heart disease and high blood pressure is the leading cause of death globally. This is the leading cause of death in the whole wide world, not just United States, not just California, and all of that stuff, but the whole world. That means all the other places and continents and everything. It's the leading cause of death. It doesn't matter where you're from, where you're at, or whatever and stuff. Anybody with a heart can have these problems. And Josie, oh, let me see. Auntie Josie said, oh, you said, why is that? I see it right here. Let me see. Oh, is that when they put a stent in your heart? Yes, for the coronary artery disease. That's when it clogs up like that. So I called it roto rooter, because I was just thinking of like plumbing. These are the pipes of your heart, that supply your heart with blood. If they're clogged up, how the blood gonna get into your heart so it can fill up and so it can beat? And if there's no blood dropping into your heart, then your heart stops beating. So you got to get that fixed. This is the one that's the gunky one. So what they do is that they call it roto rootering, and stuff. They go up in there with a certain machine. They go inside a artery inside your body, and they go up in there and they pull all that trash out and kind of clean it out and widen it a little bit, and stuff, because it's all messed up and beat up and everything. You only got a little tiny hole where it's barely getting through, so you have all that chest pain and stuff like that. So they clean all of that up and it started looking like this one. And then it's weak because it had this for so long, and over time it's weak. So then when it gets there, they have to put what they call a stent, which is an extra little barrier inside of there, like a little straw that they stick up in there and everything in that area where it's weakened, or it would just collapse. And then you still can't get the blood through. So in order to get the blood through and stuff, they place that stent. But when they place the stent, they placing it not exactly in your heart, but in the artery that feeds your heart blood. Your heart got to constantly be filling up and emptying with blood. And then each heartbeat is amazing. Each heartbeat is a trip upstairs to your brain and giving your brain all the good blood so it can function. And then the trip, the heartbeat is also a trip downstairs where it feeds your whole body all the way down to your pinky fingers and all the way down to your pinky toes. Everybody needs blood inside your body, both your hands, both your feet, your legs, all your lungs, everything needs some blood. And it's nothing but blood inside of you. But if it's not getting carried around and doing this whole cycle of life and everything and stuff, that's a problem. Your heart is the engine. If your heart ain't getting enough blood, that's a problem. And you might not live long until they do something like that, which is place those stents inside your arteries that feed your heart. Therefore, doing all of this. Let me see. Okay. So Pastor Carol said, hey, sis, I'm going to text you a CNA program that's getting ready to start this month. And it has a paid internship for people that are interested in starting their journey in the medical field. You can later announce. I'm going to send you the phone number. Sorry for the oh well, it's too late now. I'd already put it up because I seen it was a lot of words and stuff like that, but you doing fine and stuff. Absolutely. I welcome that and stuff. Pastor Carol was talking about an opportunity for a CNA program, certified nursing assistant program, where they have one getting ready to start up, and they're going to be getting ready for their internships and different things like that, and getting people to work inside the medical field and stuff and get a little taste of it. And guess who started off as the CNA? Bam! Yeah. I'm a RN now, but I'm saying I started as a CNA, and ain't nothing wrong with that. As well as I started off as a medical assistant and a medical office manager and a certified phlebotomist technician and a certified EKG technician. And is that enough? And a hospice nurse and all these other good things and stuff. But that it's enough to let you know that you're talking to somebody that's well versed. And so I welcome all these opportunities. So thank you, Pastor Carol, for that and stuff. Definitely and stuff. So going back to Valvular disease, I told you that's the door, and that this is the leading cause of death globally. That means the whole wide world, Craig, and everything. Bless your heart. I got to put this up, Pastor Carol. She said, "Look what you have become. I know, a certified nut." No, I'm just saying. I'm just giving you what's inside this brain before I go crazy, or I might get something, some type of mental health problem and stuff. So I'm gonna give it up to you guys and stuff, and then you guys figure out what to do with it. Because I can't help everybody. I can't be everybody's nurse, but I can definitely point you in the right direction and tell you when to go to the hospital and stuff like that. I could triage you and everything and stuff and get some of the work done by these people that are, have these jobs. They need some work, and stuff like that. So that's where it all comes in. It's some good stuff and everything. So I got that text. And the age groups hardest hit by hypertension or high blood pressure and heart disease. So high blood pressure, it can affect anybody at any age, meaning a teenager, a young strapping football player on the field, a basketball player, or a soccer player or a tennis player. It's women's and men basketball. It's women and men football, but the more popular is the NFL and all of that stuff. Okay, and everything. But I'm saying this to say that even these athletes, they're big and they be bowling through 5 or 6 men and all of that stuff, but they're big. So they got to be big and healthy. If they're going to be big, they can't just be, just all fat and no health, and stuff. They got to be big and healthy and stuff, or it's going to be a problem. You're going to find out, and stuff like that. So even with all of that being said, it can hit you at any age. And now it's becoming more common for it to hit us young people, and adolescents, like our little 8 and 10-year-olds and stuff that's 200 pounds, standing 5'7", and stuff, and different things like that. Even young 12, 13-year-olds and stuff, and they standing 5'11", and stuff like that, and kind of big, looking like bigger than me and stuff like that, and having all this weight on them and stuff like that, and having plain old heart disease because they made Cheetos and they made Doritos and they made all these things and stuff. It's a man, I live in the Hayward area and stuff, and it's a man, God bless him and everything, and I hope we get a whole bunch of sales and stuff, but he walks around with his little cart and he has this corn on there, and he has these I just finally read the side of his little vendor thing that he pushes around, and it had these little like Doritos or Takis and stuff, and he just was loading them up with garbanzo beans and onions and all that. And I was like, what the heck is that? If I didn't see so much hot salsa on there, because I'm very spicy negative, like I can't do the chili pepper and all of that stuff. But if you didn't have so much of that, I probably would have tried it, just to see. But guess what? What I got? A pocket full of diabetes. But it probably wouldn't taste good and stuff. Then I would have been hooked. And then how do you unhook me? It tastes good. It's like, yeah. So everybody has a failure button, and stuff. So I'm saying all of this to say that they just came out with stuff, nacho cheese, and they glob it on there. Is that really cheese? What is in it? Okay. Yep. Yes, high sodium. And so especially in all that chili and tahine and all of that stuff. What you think is in there, and stuff. So check it out. Pickling things and stuff. It's sodium and pickles. So sodium and pickled flavored this and that and stuff like that. So you just gotta watch. Pick your battles. Pick something like a pickled beet. It's better than a pickled pickle, and stuff like that. It's other ways to try things and stuff like that. But that's where that comes in at. and everything. So like I said, hypertension, the age group's hardest hit is everybody. Just put it like that. Just leave it alone. Everybody. And it's rising sharply, but it usually after the age of 45, but it used to be more closer to 50s, late 50s and 60s and stuff. Now it's 45, and the new age is probably early 20s. That's how cold it is. Early 20s. We have so much stuff. I wonder why this is not putting all my comments on, because I see a lot. I see Pastor Carol said it will shoot up your blood pressure. Absolutely. It will shoot it up really high. And then Rosie Granny Allen said, well, the body is telling on you. It absolutely is. Are we going to listen? Let's draw a line in the sand that even if we don't do this thing perfect, you know what? Another example real quickly and stuff. You go to the doctor, you telling on everything and stuff. You go to the doctor, you find out that you got lung cancer. And then you so stressed out, you go out and smoke a whole pack of cigarettes. Oh, I'm so stressed out. I got lung cancer. And you smoke a pack of cigarettes. What you just did, you added to your lung cancer. Yeah. You can't reverse that. You can only work on it from that point on. So what I'm saying is, I'm at the doctor. They tell me I got liver cirrhosis. That means it's a disease of the liver. Your liver is your cleaner of your body, also like your kidneys, and stuff like that. They tell you that you got liver cancer and it was from drinking. I got to go to the club. I got to pour one out, and stuff like that, and I'm so stressed out. A drink will help me and stuff. You got liver cancer caused from excessive drinking. And then you drink some more because you stressed out. They just told me I got high blood pressure and stuff. I just give me a big bag of Doritos, and I want some of that cheese that y'all be putting on here, the salty kind, that nacho stuff and everything. I want that processed stuff, and I want throw me a couple pickled jalapenos on there, and just throw some pickles on there too. You see what I'm getting at? When it's something that you need to shy away from. I just got diagnosed with diabetes. Oh my God, I got diabetes. I got to take insulin and everything and stuff. And I got to start sticking my finger and stuff and checking my blood sugars. Can you go out and give me a slushie and give me about 3 packs of Twinkies and stuff? I'm so stressed out. Give me some, you know what? Go give me the whole cake. They got a bakery down the street and stuff. Go give me that cake. Just get the small one. The stuff, the 8-inch cake. I'm about to eat. I'm about to take that to the head. They told me I got diabetes. What they talking about? Y'all get what I'm saying? Okay, Pastor Carol said, right, shaking my head. Exactly. And stuff. I got kidney problems and stuff. My heart is in congestive heart failure and stuff. They said I got too much fluid on my heart. My heart working too hard for me and stuff. And go give me a couple bottles of soda. I need like 2 liters and stuff. I'm about to take them to the head. I'm about to drink that and stuff. What they say I can't have? They said I can't have salt, but I can have the soda and stuff, and I can have. Come on, y'all. Come on. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. My dad said, with some sherbet ice cream. Oh yeah, the cake with the sherbet ice cream. You just been diagnosed with diabetes, and then you can have the cake and the sherbet ice cream. But make sure you eat the whole cake and the whole half a pint of sherbet ice cream. That should probably heal it, right? I'm on here for a reason, y'all. I'm on here for a reason. Okay. And stuff. So welcome to Medical Talk in Layman's Terms with Nurse Charlene. And the topic tonight of a series, Back to the Basics. is high blood pressure and heart disease. And we're just talking about matters of the heart. And I see Pastor Carol just put on, and when you get diagnosed, your body wants everything you don't supposed to have. Of course. And more. Yes. Now you see the mental health in that. So just because you get diagnosed with the high blood pressure, make sure you check your mental health too. Because you might feel sorry for yourself and mess around and mess up some more, and stuff. Make sure when you get diagnosed with diabetes and stuff like that, before you go shoot yourself and stuff, make sure you check your mental health also. Because some people take the diagnosis and run away with that. I got this. Yeah, they got doctors for it too. They got nurses for it too. Yeah. Yeah, you got it, but what you gonna do about it? Yeah, so when we're saying that and stuff, it's I know you guys know what I'm getting at and stuff like that, but that's what I'm trying to do. This is why I'm on. And everything and stuff. So the age groups hardest hit by high blood pressure, it can affect every age group, and it doesn't matter the gender and everything, but also it usually it starts around 45 and on up. You better be looking for it and stuff before it finds you, and then you faith around and find out and everything. But in the meantime, it hit men at 45 on up and hit women at 55 on up. That doesn't make us better than men and stuff. It just means look for it a lot sooner, because women got so much more that they got to deal with and everything. But men, don't sleep on it just because you don't be diagnosed with every single thing a woman is diagnosed with. It can still get you. You can get it and stuff. So that's what I'm saying with that. Pastor Carol said it's hand in hand to get the support. Absolutely. Yeah, you got to work with everything. So if something happens with your heart, you got to work with your heart and your mind. Something happen with your lungs, you got to work with your lungs and your mind and your heart, and stuff, and so on and so forth. As they stack on, because they will, you're a human being. What do? And so we get old. Our bodies get older and older and older, and we get more things. We might grow out of this one and pick up a new one. Grow out of that one, pick up a new one. It's all types of stuff, wrong with us. Eczema, pimples for the acne for the teenagers and young adults, and sometimes they carry it into adulthood and all of that stuff. Is so much out there, and we can get it because we're human beings at the end of the day. Stop being so hard on yourself. And then a lot of diseases are often not caught because I'm only 30, so I shouldn't be having all of this stuff, So what? 30? Was you healthy? Did you eat a perfect diet, a perfect balanced diet, and exercise perfectly all your 30 years of living? No. So you can get it. Yeah. I'm skinny, so it ain't gonna happen to me. Yes, it will. Probably faster. Well, I know I'm fat, so it's gonna always have. No. A skinny person can get it before the fat person, or the fat person can get it before the skinny person. It doesn't matter. You can get it. You're human. Okay? Get off your back. Heart disease. The ages groups hardest hit is 45 and up and everything. But nowadays, it's anybody can get it, and stuff. But those are the statistics, 45 and up. And then you got men are at higher risk earlier, 45, than women, but women catch up after menopause. I did the topic on menopause and andropause, and that men get menopause too. And they could get a little hot flashes. They get the little apron belly, the little fat belly and stuff. Like they didn't give birth to something, and everything and stuff. Not just I got that good because I'll be eating good. No, it's hormones and eating good. Yes. And then you got illnesses caused by high blood pressure. Guess what the number one is? Stroke. Oh no, I thought that was diabetes. No, stroke. Stroke is hypertension can cause you to have a stroke. It's putting so much pressure on your one little heart, your one little engine, that it can cause you to have a stroke. Or guess what? So a stroke is a brain attack. For the heart attack is a heart attack. A brain attack is a stroke. A heart attack or myocardial infarction is a heart attack. And then you got your heart failure. That comes in number 3 on illnesses caused by high blood pressure. Then you got chronic, so ongoing kidney disease and damage to your blood vessels in your kidneys. Everything has it. Your eyes have blood vessels in them. That's why you can break them and you get the little red spots in your eye and stuff. They even have blood vessels. Every precious body part on your body has a blood vessel attached to it in some type of way. All over your brain, all over your heart, all over your body, your muscles, your feet, your toes, your fingers. Everything has blood vessels. Your skin, under your skin and everything. And they all can get it and everything. So you get chronic kidney disease or ongoing kidney disease. You get aneurysms. Don't sleep on these. That's that headache that won't go away. Then you're sick to your stomach. Go get that checked out. Tylenol will not heal that. Tylenol may stop some of it. And usually when you at an aneurysm stage, ain't nothing helping it. Nothing. It's either death or you get to the hospital in time and they try to do something for you and stuff. It's 911. It's 911. Yes. Miss Brittany said this guy was in. Okay. All right. Thank you. Love you. And stuff. Aneurysms. And then that's a weakening of the arteries. Usually in your brain, you have arteries that feed the brain. There's a weakening. So then a weakening in that wall, then it bursts. If it bursts, you're already in trouble. It's no, way to pretty much come back from that. Sometimes they might be able to catch you if you're in the hospital and it bursts and then you're in surgery. But usually if it bursts and you're at home, you probably can hang that up for anybody, even the nurse and everything. And then there's a thing called peripheral artery disease, or PAD, or which means your peripherals are your tips, your tips of things and stuff like that, of the arteries and stuff like that. And that disease is clogging. So arteries supply the biggest amount of blood that usually makes it on into your heart. But if they get clogged off by anything, it's a problem. So that's artery disease. That's clogging of those arteries. And they need to feed every part of your body, every single part of your body. If they get clogged up, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. I got the same arteries you got. Ours is different, but I'm saying we got arteries. We all got arteries. Some things you could do about it. Nutrition and lifestyle, and then I'm almost done. They got nutrition. They got a DASH diet. DASH stands for dietary approaches to stop high blood pressure or hypertension, but high blood pressure, because that's what you guys know it by. And they're usually diets rich in fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, nuts, and low fat dairy, anything low fat and stuff. Also things low in sodium, saturated fats, added sugars, and red meat. These are things that you could do to help combat high blood pressure. This is when you want to work on it so you can try to reverse it, because it's reversible. And so you can actually get off. I was on blood pressure. I was on borderline hypertension. I was on blood pressure pills for a little while. And then I wasn't. And I didn't have high blood pressure anymore. and stuff. So it can come and go and stuff like that. But don't be scared to try some for a little while and then get off of it, correct it, and get off and everything. So that's one. And then some key nutritional strategies. Limiting your sodium. Did I say your body needs sodium to function? What is this? Let's see. Oh, so much information. Help us, Lord Jesus. In Jesus' name, thank you, Jesus. Yes, thank you, Jesus, that I can give this much information so that if you get half of what I'm saying tonight, go back and watch the replay, because that might give you the other half that you didn't pick up right away because we're on live and everything and stuff, and you'll get the other parts of it and see how all of it can, it's not a one size fits all. It fits everybody and everybody's situation. You might have this, but you don't have that. You might have that, but you don't have this and everything. Pick what helps you and keep that for yourself, and then pick what helps somebody else and keep that, because that'll make your heart feel better if you help somebody else with their problems, and everything. And then you don't have to stress over them, and stress out because of them. And so that's limiting your sodium. Sodium is good, not in excess. So anything less than 2,300 milligrams a day. So you can see the milligrams on the back of a package of food and stuff like that, and see how much sodium it got in it and stuff, and just try to stay within that and stuff, and taper yourself. So it says less than 2,300 milligrams a day is good. But if you want to be super, super healthy, and it takes time to get there, you could limit it down to less than 1,500 milligrams a day. But you do have to have salt in your life, or you're not going to function and something's going to fail. Also, increase your potassium. Potassium is one of the great vitamins that helps your heart. It helps with contraction. Your heart is a big fat muscle, so it helps with that contraction. It helps your muscles in your legs and everywhere else you got a muscle at and stuff. But your heart is what we're talking about tonight and stuff. So you need your potassium. And you can find those in potassium-rich foods like bananas, spinach, and beans. If bananas is not your thing, or you're allergic or something like that, there's other potassium-rich. Google it and stuff. You can find some. Then there's choose healthy fats. Like, we look at extra virgin olive oil and olive oil this and olive oil that. Was olive oil. Now they didn't leveled up to avocado oil and fatty fish, and stuff, different things like that. And you can look those up by just Googling fatty fish and stuff like that, and find out what choices they have, and then pick you one to start incorporating in your meals. This ain't no overnight thing. This is over time thing and stuff. But working towards is better than working against it, and everything. And then limiting your alcohol and quit smoking. So for any smokers out there, this is no judgment against you. This is, if you can, start going down on the cigarettes per day. And then as you go down on the cigarettes and stuff, then start, limiting and going further apart from one cigarette break to the other. It takes time and finesse. It took time and finesse to get you up to a whole pack a day or 2 packs a day. So it's going to take time to get you back down from that. Just like with sugar, just like with salt, just like, sugar. Yeah, you can't just graduate to no whole cake and stuff like that and stuff. But I'm saying you know how to limit yourself and start pushing that plate away, a little bit faster and stuff, so that you can get to the good side. And then guess what you get to do? Live longer. Okay. And then I'm gonna talk about some symptoms, and then but this was the part about nutrition and changing your lifestyle if you want to do something about it. And that would be I want to get into snitching, because snitches don't get stitches. Snitches get to live a little bit longer when your body is snitching on you and everything. But maintaining a healthy weight and exercising regularly. So start slow. I found out that walking is just as healthy as you see somebody with their muscles out and stuff, jogging up and down the street and stuff. You could be just as healthy and walk that same block and just walk it, and you still get just as healthy, and it's good for your heart, just like they're running up and down and doing whatever they're doing and everything. So that part. So I just want to say, for high blood pressure or hypertension, high blood pressure and stuff, it's often silent and everything. We're talking about high blood pressure and heart disease. So it's often silent, the symptoms. But symptoms is your body snitching and stuff. So a snitch is a symptom. So these are the snitches of high blood pressure. Headaches, your body snitching. Dizziness, your body snitching. Blurred vision, your body snitching. Chest pain, you hear that, Pastor Carol? Your body snitching. Nosebleeds, your body snitching. What else was there? We said chest pain and everything. That's for just high blood pressure. That's your body snitching. Those are some of the telltale signs that you probably got some type of hypertension or high blood pressure. It's either 1, 2, or 3. It ain't normal, and it's not elevated, because elevated is just borderline. But 1, 2, and 3 high blood pressure and stuff, you best to believe it's gonna start doing a little bit of this, and then it ramps up each number that it goes up. So 1 is doing this. 2, it got a friend. 3, it got all the friends and the whole posse, the whole crew here and stuff, and it's gonna get down on you, and you're gonna know that you've been in a war and stuff. High for symptoms that your body is snitching for heart disease, chest pain and pressure, your body snitching. Short of breath, shortness of breath, your body snitching. Palpitation, my heart beating too fast, it's beating too slow, it's beating too fast, it's beating fast and slow. It don't know what it's doing. I don't know. It got a mental health problem and stuff. That is your body snitching. Fatigue, I'm tired, I don't feel like doing nothing ever again in life and stuff. That's a telltale sign, your body snitching. Swelling in the legs and ankle. Yes, that's a sign of heart failure. So when they tell you got this thing called edema and stuff, it's not a fancy word and stuff. It means you got some fluid on you. You need to put them feet up, elevate them feet so that extra fluid can work its way back into your heart, and your heart can help drain it off and stuff. Your kidneys can start working a little bit harder so that you can start kind of peeing this out, tinkling it out, whatever, urinating it out, whatever you want to call it, pee and stuff, and everything. So then you got sudden weakness. Your body is snitching that you got some type of heart disease. Numbness, in your fingers and your feet and stuff going numb. Your body snitching. Speech or difficulty talking and slurred speech. Your body is stroking. Your body is snitching. Okay. Before you have a stroke, your body snitches first. If you get to the hospital fast enough, you come out okay. If you get to it too slow or put it off or don't want to tell nobody because it's kind of embarrassing and stuff, you're going to find out that you might not even make it and stuff. So that's a big deal. And stuff. So myths versus facts real quick. Myth. Hypertension always causes symptoms. The fact is, most people feel fine. The diagnosis requires regular blood pressure checks. Know your numbers. Yes. And then myth. Only older adults get high blood pressure. The old people get high blood pressure. Fact. It can affect young adults and even children. They can get high blood pressure. So that was a lie. It don't affect just old people. It affects anybody that's a human. A myth. Heart disease only affects men. Don't get mad, men. That's a myth. Fact. Leading cause of death in women too, especially postmenopausal, after menopause. So after they actually get diagnosed with menopause and stuff, now they're at just as high of a risk as men. So just because the men get it a little bit earlier and stuff doesn't mean that the women don't get it and stuff just as fast, and everything. So myth, cutting salt alone cures high blood pressure. If I stop eating all that salt and stuff, I'll be fine. Yeah. Fact, multiple lifestyle changes need to happen, and sometimes medications are needed in order to correct high blood pressure and everything. It can't be I just stop eating salt. I don't put no salt on my food. I just put that no salt seasoning and stuff like that. Yeah, that's not enough. You got to do a couple things. You got to exercise. You got to have a better diet and all of that. And then maybe you'll get to the good side. But it takes some work. You got to put in work. Just like you had to put in work to get it. You got to put in work to take it off, to take it away and everything. Take home message, and then I'm done, y'all. And so how good did I do? I'm looking at the time. Okay, I'm at 1 hour and 16 minutes. I said that I was going to start going an hour and a half. I know that some people have to go before then and stuff, but anybody that stays, thank you. And anybody that has to go, I understand and stuff. Just make sure that you go back and watch the replay of anything you missed at the beginning or the end and everything, because this is good stuff and you can help somebody and save them by accident and everything. So please, just listen up, go back and stuff. I'm live streaming from Facebook Live as well as YouTube at the same time. And then I'm going to start putting my clips and everything of these videos and stuff on TikTok and Instagram so that you can see it from all the different, because some people don't get on this social media and some people don't get on this one. So I need to find a way to kind of put them all together like the perfect creation or storm so that everybody gets a chance to see something and everything. But this is all in trying to help everybody. If I get one, I've did my job and stuff. And so the whole thing about this medical talk in layman's terms with Nurse Charlene is I need you to help me, help you, help yourself and your loved ones, if that makes sense. It takes a little minute to digest what I just said and stuff, but play it back a couple times and everything. So I'm going to do the take home message. And then I'm going to leave you guys for tonight. And thanks for all that came on, all that interacted with me. I love that because it helps me get comfortable, because I am coming on here. I'm not a professional speaker, as you can see, is in all of that and stuff, and everything. But I'm working on correcting it and stuff. And it's going to take some time and everything. So bear with me. But make sure that instead of correcting me, that you're checking out what I'm really saying, with the words that are coming out of my mouth, because they may save your life. Okay, take home message. High blood pressure is silent but deadly. Risk factors for heart disease and stroke. They are the risk factors. High blood pressure is the risk factor or the precursor, the beforehand for heart disease and stroke and heart attack, of course. Prevention is key. A balanced diet, regular exercise, to try to cut down to no smoking, but take your time. No judgment. Take your time, because it took your time to get there to even start smoking on a regular basis. So it takes your time to get off and everything. And learning how to control your mental health, because this plays the biggest role in how you take things when they give you the diagnosis. A lot of people don't go to the doctor simply because they might tell them what they got. Yeah, then you can try to get it fixed. But if they don't tell you nothing, then what you gonna do? Yes, and stuff. So, okay. And regular blood pressure checks can save lives. Know your numbers, your blood pressure numbers. If you've ever been diagnosed with prediabetes, know your blood sugar numbers, know that A1C. These are important things. You got to start being proactive. Do you want to live? And even if you didn't want to live, do your family want you to live? Do you got to live for your kids, your grandkids, your, whatever and stuff like that? Sometimes it ain't about you. It's other people depending on you to live. How they going to be taken care of, or how they going to be loved, or they may love you, and stuff. They don't want you to die. So please do it for them if you don't do it for you because you don't like yourself or something like that and stuff. Do it for the people that love you. Okay, that's what I got to do. Even if I don't like me, and stuff, the people that love me. So that's enough to do it for them. Okay. Treatment works. Early intervention reduces the risk of serious injuries and illnesses. Meaning, if you catch it early enough and follow these snitching things like the symptoms and stuff, you may be able to catch it before it gets so bad that there's no hope for you. And then there's no more you. We don't get another you. We don't get another me, and stuff. We don't get another one. Somebody else can come with your same name, your same, address even and stuff, but they will never be you. It's only one you. Okay. Heart disease is preventable and manageable with awareness, screening, and healthy choices, meaning taking the time out to be involved in your health. The doctors are not nosy. They don't know you. So guess what? If they don't know you, why should they try hard if you're not going to try hard to tell them what they need to know? And stuff. I don't know, the people that know me and ask me for advice and stuff, they tend to ask me, Charlene, I got this and stuff. I got this blister on my arm or something like that. Or I got all these little dots on my arm, or I got a scratchy throat and stuff, and I've been sneezing a lot and stuff and this and that. And then the first thing I ask, do you got hay fever or something like that? Because I'm gathering information. I don't know you. I don't know what you got, until you tell me something. But I got to know what happened to get there. Have you ever had this happen? Have you ever had that happen? Are you getting dizzy too? Are you having chest pain too? Well, you need to tell your doctor. I'm not going to cure you. I don't have an x-ray machine or an EKG machine inside of me. I can't do anything or run tests. Your doctor can. So guess what? I can't even save you, and stuff. I can recognize certain things and stuff, but I can't save you. So even if you ask me, you still got to go to your doctor. I can't prescribe you medicine, So I'm saying all this to say that it's okay to ask me. But if you're asking me, you can't be asking me to heal you, but you can be asking me, what do you advise? Well, if that was me and I had this, and this, and this and stuff, the first thing I need to do is I need to tell a doctor, because for now, overnight and stuff, put a cold compress, put a hot compress, do this, take a Tylenol or whatever and stuff. But tomorrow you need to make an appointment and get in to see the doctor and tell the doctor everything. Every time I drink, this happens. I get a headache. Every time I smoke weed, I get dizzy and the whole world turns upside down on me, and stuff. You got to tell the doctor that. I smoked some meth and I was high for 16 days. I don't even remember the last 2 weeks of my life after I smoked. Yeah, that probably ain't the drug for you, but I'm just saying all this to say, I'm still going to say, if you don't tell your doctor and rush in there right now before you die, you know what I'm saying? Couldn't nobody find you for 2 weeks and you sit up there looking at the moon that never came out, and stuff. Okay. So be it as it may, this is serious, more serious than a heart attack, and stuff, what I'm talking about. Yes, I like to make it fun loving and joke around a little bit. That's why I do myth versus facts and stuff like that and everything. But when it's all said and done, if you really pay attention to some of the things I say and stuff, you'll see that this is your bread and butter. You got to look out for yourself. We got to look out for ourselves. We got to exercise. We got to take one step at a time and changing our diet so that we don't die prematurely too quickly, and stuff like that. We got to take care of our family. We got to look at the telltale signs. I seen this on that podcast and stuff. I know she got she got to have high blood pressure. She even told me, girl, I done had 16 headaches in a row and stuff. And I'll be taking these Tylenol like they Tic Tacs and stuff like that and stuff. That's the problem. If you don't save their life, shame on you. Be guilty when you at their funeral and stuff like that. So I'm signing off. But just remember, I'm not on here for nothing. This is God-given talent or whatever you want to call it and stuff like that. But I don't claim to be too smart, but I sure don't claim to be dumb and stuff like that. I did a lot of research. I have a lot of experiences under my belt. I have a lot of disciplines that I have been and titles that I have been. And make no mistake, I am an active duty, licensed, registered nurse here, giving my take on your health, one issue at a time, in an interactive setting, so that you're comfortable getting on here and talking to me, and that you'll be comfortable, hopefully, with your doctor, because they're counting on me. I didn't have the doctor already tell me, even as far as today and stuff, that they're counting on me to send the people in, to get them to go to the doctor, to use your medical, if you got medical insurance and stuff, to use it before you lose it, and everything else and stuff. Come on, y'all. We got to take care of ourselves. So I'm signing off. Thank you all for coming, participating, and everything. And remember, after the live, I go back and answer the questions or ad lib on whatever you may have put up and everything. And so you can go back, other people can go back and look at your questions that you were brave enough to ask and everything. And my dad said, I enjoyed the whole podcast. Great job, Charlene. Thank you so much, Dad. It means a lot coming from you and coming from everybody else that joined on and everything. Thank you, guys. I'm doing it for the greater good. I'm absolutely doing it for the greater good. And y'all take care. And remember, we got to take care of ourselves. Let's start telling our body snitching. Let's start joining in. All right. Bye-bye.